Welcome once again to Channel 18, and today we have our guests from the Harwich Conservation Trust, and we're going to start with a fellow from the AmeriCorps over on my far right, David Ushako.
Ushako. Yes, yeah.
Okay.
All the way from Milwaukee,
Wisconsin,
right?
Yes,
Yeah,
told
yeah.
me.
Spent the first.
And then we have Matt Cannon. Where's he from?
Rhode Island originally.
Oh my goodness.
We're just covering the
Just
bases.
covering the bases.
Yes, yeah.
And Michael Locke, and you're from the Cape.
That's
right
right from the Cape, yeah. So thanks for having us, Paul. And
It's a pleasure for us to have you.
mm-hmm.
And what do we have on tap for today?
Well, we're thrilled to have Dave with us
Yes.
through AmeriCorps. We've had a long-standing relationship between AmeriCorps Cape Cod, which is the Barnstable County chapter of the National AmeriCorps program.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a long-standing relationship with AmeriCorps several years. They help us with everything from property monitoring to some of our citizen science projects to group projects, trail trimming or habitat management projects, and the list goes on. But we'll hear from Dave some of his projects he's involved in and some of his background, and it'll be a chance for your viewers to once again learn a little bit more about our wonderful partner of the AmeriCorps members.
Well, he's given you the invitation, David. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay. Well, like you said, I'm originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Spent the first 18 years of my life there. After that, I graduated from the University of Colorado Boulder, where I graduated with a degree in environmental studies, specialization in natural resource management. And then that's basically my background right there. But with the Harwich Conservation Trust, I've been doing some property monitoring, taking baseline photos of all our boundaries, and I've been working with our surveying team, Boundary Quest. We've been going out and delineating property boundaries and such. And during the spring, I'll be working, taking care of the tour to trash. And, I guess I'll be having a part in doing that. So.
Yeah, for sure. That'll be great. Yeah.
Do you have any brothers or sisters at home?
I do have a sister. She's my half sister. She's about what is she now? 40.
Wow.
So
Okay.
she's back in Colorado. I have three wonderful, two nephews and a niece. So.
Oh, okay, so you have a small family.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm an only child. So
Oh, you are?
I recognize that.
Okay. Great.
So, and Matt, what's on your calendar today?
Well, I'd just like to say I was in Dave's seat only a few years ago, and our relationship with AmeriCorps really started even before my time. But it's good to have Dave on board. As he mentioned, Tour to Trash, that will be happening in the spring, and he'll be heavily involved in that, our second annual. That was a big success last year, and that's just one of many stewardship outreach projects we're working on this year.
Yeah. That was the the town-wide trash cleanup.
Right.
In partnership with the town.
It was
conservation
amazing the
department.
number of tonnage that you picked up.
Yeah, and the highway
yeah.
department was key, as well as Amy Wazowski from conservation department, and supported by so many volunteers, really making it possible. And we're glad to be a partner in it too. So it'll be second annual.
Very good.
So watch for more info in 2016. But
And we'll be looking for more volunteers.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Yeah, but we've been reflecting on some of our citizen science projects in 2015. Some of our longer running projects. As you know, we engage volunteers in all different ways, whether it's office support or outdoor activities, like Dave mentioned, the Boundary Quest team that finds, marks, and maps our property boundaries, and also some habitat and wildlife tracking and enhancement projects, including the herring count, tracking river herring populations. Our box turtle project, where we're collecting observations from citizens who cross paths, or box turtles cross their paths when they're on the move in May, June, July-ish. and also our bird nest box monitoring program, which is, it was in its 8th field season this past summer and spring, and we, with the help of an intern through the Compact of Cape Cod Conservation Trust, another nonprofit I work for, Land Trust Service Center, who we collaborate with on land acquisition projects through HCT. That in turn helped crunch some numbers, the data that's been collected by our bird nest box monitors over time. And while you're looking at some of these beautiful photos taken by one of our volunteer photographers, Janet D. Mattia, beautiful photo of a tree swallow, one of the species that uses the nest boxes spread out among 3 sites in Harwich, more than 44 paired nest boxes at the new Robert F. Smith Colebrook Preserve in Harwichport, and then another dozen at the town's Texera Conservation Lands, and another 24 at Thompson's Field Conservation Area.
That Smith project, you really expanded all the animals that are in there.
Yeah, well, it's quite a mecca for wildlife because of its variety of habitats, for everything from stream to wetland to bordering upland. But these birds, you know, their habitat their nesting opportunities are essentially enhanced by the placement and monitoring of these nest boxes. So, you know, as you might see some of those photos, Matt's just going to talk a little bit about some of the findings that the analysis performed by this intern revealed about our nest box monitoring work through our volunteers over since 2008.
Very good.
Yeah, and this will really highlight all the work that these volunteers have done. It's good to know when you're out there, being engaged is fun and you're learning about birds, but it's also nice to know some results of some of our programs. And as far as the bird nest box monitoring, in general, we've seen a steady rise of tree swallows, each year from about 2008. So that's been a success story really at each of the properties, steady increase of the tree swallow. And then at Bank Street Bogs, we've seen a pretty solid increase of eastern bluebird presence as well. And there are a lot of other species that have come and gone, and it's good to know we have all of that data tracked over time.
Look at that one of the male bluebird.
And
amazing.
And if you walk the Colebrook Preserve, you will definitely see the presence of the eastern bluebird. That's been very successful. And I would like to say in general, for citizen science projects, just like the herring count, I mean, the data is really helpful to all of us, and we can use it in the future.
That's a female bluebird there. You know, some of our project partners over time include the Birdwatchers General Store in Orleans.
Oh, yes.
As well as
I know a fellow that works there.
Yeah, do you? Yeah. As well as Wild Birds Unlimited, run by Tommy Thompson in Yarmouth. So those 2 businesses have been strong supporters of our program, and we partner with volunteers through the Cape Cod Bird Club as well. So it's really a collaborative effort to monitor and maintain these nest boxes for these different species. And when you're out there, especially at the Robert F. Smith Colebrook Preserve in spring and summer, it's really like an acrobatic aerial display. You know, when you're watching the tree swallows, you know, maneuver out over the wetlands, looking for insects to take on the wing, as well as the bluebirds, that beautiful bright electric blue, and the songs as well, just, you know, floating across the landscape. So it's just a wonderful experience. So we're grateful for our volunteers working so hard.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, what's next?
Oh, we have so much going on. It's amazing.
Yes, I know.
We'll stick today to a preview of some of our great winter talks coming up.
Oh, that's right, yes.
Very popular series. Recall way back when we started this series, probably around 2007 or so.
Is it then that one?
Right here in the community center. We're lucky to have such a wonderful resource here. But we started out with you know, me and 4 other people showed up, right, for a variety of topics, and it steadily has grown. And now, you know, sometimes
as people come to them, and they have a good experience.
Yeah.
And they tell their neighbors and
Right.
friends.
Yeah.
People want to have a good experience too.
Yeah, exactly.
So then they come.
It's been sort of the go-to educational opportunity in this part of the Cape in January and February.
Right.
And now, sometimes we have more than 150 people coming to these presentations, and they're really just terrific opportunities to learn more about the natural world around us. So kicking off on January 9th, selected Saturdays in January and February. It's all on our website, harwichconservationtrust.org. January 9th, Saturday, 2 p.m., we're going to hear about the outermost house and Henry Beston's book about his experience after coming back from World War I, looking for, there it is, a beautiful photo provided by the Henry Beston Society. Don Wilding, co-founder and executive director of the Henry Beston Society, will lead this presentation and share more about Henry Beston's experience out there in this 20 by 16 cottage perched on the dune, looking over the Atlantic, that was eventually washed away in the blizzard of '78.
Oh, wow.
But until that time, actually...
Was anybody living there then?
Not at that time, but after Henry Beston returned from World War I, he was really looking for a place to settle down and I think heal from the horrors of that experience. He wrote about his time there in the book, The Outermost House. So it's really an interesting story about human connection to the natural world and landscape of Cape Cod. So I think it'll be a great presentation. And then we have coming Saturday, January 23rd, again 2 p.m. right here in the Community Center's multipurpose room. The co-founder and now director of the Atlantic White Shark Conservancy, Cynthia Wygren, will talk about her work tracking and supporting the research of Dr. Greg Skolmel with the state's Division of Marine Fisheries. Look at that white shark that's stranded on the outer Cape this past summer. We've seen obviously a lot of media coverage on these sharks proliferating.
They do attract a big crowd.
They attract a lot of attention. They're here for a reason with the expanding gray seal population. You can see some tagging exercise going on in this photo, where on the bowsprit of the boat we probably have Dr. Greg Skolmel getting ready to tag a shark or two you see in the water. And so we're going to see more footage and photography courtesy of Atlantic White Shark Conservancy and Cynthia Wygren on January 23rd. It's going to be fascinating.
Yeah, that should be very good.
Yes, yeah. And then
you'll be back to tell us more about February.
Well, we'll just give you a little bit more on the last the Saturday in January. Still got one more. We keep them coming. Saturday, January 30th. Again, 2 p.m. here. There'll be a talk about the birds and the bees. Now, we're talking about native pollinators. So we're going to have Mark Faraday, the science coordinator from Wellfleet Bay Wildlife Sanctuary, the Audubon Sanctuary up north there in Wellfleet. Come on all the way down south here to Harwich and talk about native pollinators in the Cape Cod landscape, including bees, like this one you see on butterfly weed. These photos provided again by one of our volunteer photographers, that very same talented Janet DiMattia. And Mark, is going to teach us more about the habits and life cycles of these important species within the Cape Cod landscape. Something that often maybe we don't think about too frequently, but they're very important in our various ecosystems here. So we look forward to hosting him on Saturday, January 30th at 2. Each of these winter talks on the Saturdays in January and February, it's a suggested donation of $5 per person. Suggested donation. We're not going to turn anybody away. We want people to come and enjoy. Look at that beautiful photo of the bumblebee on butterfly weed and some pollen sacs on the rear legs there. that's just amazing photography.
Mm-hmm.
And there we have
Wow.
a swallowtail butterfly on butterfly weed, a very popular nectar providing plant. And now we have a monarch there on some Virginia creeper. So, we hear a lot about monarchs and their life cycle and their need for milkweed and other host plants. So we'll hear about them as part of this pollinator talk. But anyways, come on down to the community center on these different Saturdays. Check out the schedule on our website. If you'd like us to mail you one, just let us know. We'll pop it in the mail. You can put it on your fridge. And it'll be a lot of fun.
Yes, it will. Should be.
Yeah.
Very good. So is that it?
That's it for now.
That's it for now.
Yeah, we wish you happy
Everybody-
holidays
Yeah.
and
Okay.
as
Merry
we
Christmas
and Merry
to you.
Christmas
Happy
and
New Year.
Happy New Year as we
Yeah.
draw 2015 to a close.
That's
we
right.
we look forward to
It comes very quickly when it comes.
it does, and we look forward to more exciting activities and land saving success in 2016.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, it's always great having you.
Thank
And
you.
Thanks for
Thank you.
coming
Yeah.
again.
Thanks for having
and
us.
good luck to you, David.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Very good.
All right.